Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Batters Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Restored Motions. I'm going to see Crystal Poche at 9 a.m. Drop off Drew at school. Going to see Crystal at Restored Motions. I am looking forward to it. And ProChargeEV, ProChargeEV.com, by the way. All right. What's up, y'all? So, a couple things. Brian Kelly met with reporters on Thursday night. At his coach's show, he mentioned Omar Speights, Mason Taylor, both battling injuries. Mason, of course, we know, had the ankle injury against Grambling last week. So he is questionable for the game. And then Omar Speights, Brian Kelly said, is doubtful for... Drew's in there talking. I can hear him talking in his bed. Omar Speights doubtful. Now, my big question was, okay, if Speights is doubtful and doesn't play, you know Greg Penn's going to be one of your off-ball linebackers. We knew Greg Penn was going to be one of the off-ball linebackers. The question was, would Harold Perkins move back inside, or do you roll with West Weeks and Whit Weeks along with him? Shortens your rotation, obviously. And Brian Kelly said they're keeping Harold Perkins outside. So, good. That's good to know. And, but that does make you dramatically thinner at linebacker and in the middle of your defense, especially in a game where, you know, I'll be really curious to see what Mississippi State does offensively, because last week they only threw the ball 17 times. And so I'm really curious if they line up and they run Woody Marks 25, 30 times against LSU, or do they try to sling it around because LSU's had trouble covering. So Omar Speights out of the game does soften the middle of your defense. So your defensive line needs to have a huge week. Mason Smith, Mekhi Wingo, Jordan Jefferson. The interior of that line's got to be great. So, okay, let's say some good mornings. See what y'all got as always. Appreciate y'all for being here. YouTube, please smash that like button. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Bubba Smith, Chris Andropont, Jason Horn. Good morning, Patrick Burglass. What's your projection for tonight's Catholic U High game? I don't know. I haven't seen U High. I don't know anything about them. But I'm always going to pick Catholic High. Go Bears. Scott, and interestingly about that, you will have Hester on Hester action. Of course, Jake Hester, his sons, go to U High, the lab school, and Chance Hester, Jake's brother, is an assistant coach on the Catholic High staff. So you got a little house divided with the Hesters tonight. Scott Edwin Capel, good morning. They called your guy's name a lot last night, Zach Cunningham. Remember, you wanted the Saints to get him. I did. That was the free agent linebacker I desperately wanted the Saints to sign. And instead he went to the Eagles. Hunter Eilers, good morning. Who do you think will win, Jags or Chiefs? Go Jags. I'm always going to lean Chiefs, but very clearly different team without, or with a limited Travis Kelce. Now, the other thing too, Hunter, is that is a massive game for Kansas City, because you already lost one on your home field you were expected to get. And if you lose this one and start 0-2, you don't leave yourself much margin for error. Keeping in mind, only the top seed gets a bye, and if you're Kansas City, you would obviously rather the road to the Super Bowl go through Arrowhead Stadium. So whoever is the one seed, be it Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, whomever it may be in the AFC. It's a massive advantage considering the AFC Championship game could be played at Arrowhead or in Buffalo. I mean, it's a massive difference. If you're Cincinnati, to not have to go to Arrowhead or Buffalo is massive. So, if you're Kansas City and you start 0-2, it's plausible to think that the 1 seed in the AFC will be 13-4, 14-3. Well, if you're Kansas City and you lose your first 2 out the chute, you got to be darn near perfect the rest of the way. Patrick Berglass, good morning. Dre Marceau, good morning. Do you think they'll start Hurd going forward like Jones? Maybe at some point this year, but Miles Frazier is a really good interior player and deserves to play. So I think they will probably have a platoon sort of rotation on that right side. Hey, Dad, good morning. Craig Dugas, good morning. Thanks to you getting me into whiskey 5 years ago. Last night, I put a 3-barrel pick under my belt. Okay. All right, Craig. You're welcome, by the way. Joey Vincent, good morning. Tiger Diver, good morning. Bubba Tatum, good morning. From 35,000 feet in the air. Headed to NOLA for the Chappelle Show tonight. So, Bubba Tatum, and they're going to try to make Don Juan tomorrow. Okay. Well, Bubba, I do have Ledco hats in my car. And I actually am going to be at the Chappelle Show tonight as well. So as soon as I get off air, I'm going to jet down to New Orleans to go watch Dave Chappelle. So I am really excited about that. Brad David, what a college team schedule game so far in advance? Mostly logistics. Budgets. And then logistics of knowing travel arrangements for a traveling party of 200 people, hotels, all that sort of stuff. Nick Newbill, happy Friday. Gregory Gordy, Wendell Norman, Kyle DeVille, Dale Broussard, good morning. Strong Side, good morning. I vote for Cricket, oh my God. That's the nickname Terrio is trying to have people adopt for him. He's trying to give himself a nickname. He wants to go by Cricket. And so, Cricket's so stupid. Jay Geiger, good morning. Phil Stevens, good morning. The injury bug report, I know. Mostly healthy, though. I mean, LSU has stayed remarkably healthy. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Going to see chiropractor at 8:30. Day trip to Beaumont and back wrecked my back. Oh, day trip to Beaumont and back wrecked my back. Got it. Back pain sucks, man. It sucks. Von Bluesman, good morning. Donovan Peterson, Jesse Post, good morning. We're going to see some weak bros tonight. Not tonight, tomorrow morning. I'm sure you mean Weeks. West and Witt Weeks. So West, of course, is the Virginia transfer who came here a year ago as a sophomore, now in his third year. The more veteran of the two. Witt is the true freshman who has the higher ceiling. And I would venture a guess that it won't take too long before Witt passes West. He's just the younger brother is just the higher ceiling player. Ray Langlois, good morning, happy Friday. Heading to Longview, Texas to visit my son. Okay, Ray, that's awesome, man. Have a great day. Be safe on the road. Devin Johnson, good morning. Hoping players are more fired up this game. Defensive line needs to play their best game tomorrow. Mississippi State's running back will eat us alive if not. So Woody Marks is a really good back. It is interesting, though, that worried about State's running game when really the issue for LSU defensively has been pass defense, as we all know. So, I don't know, man. I would be quite content to see Mississippi State try to play defense and run the ball and shorten the game because I think LSU has the real ability to score very quickly. So I don't know that there's many things that are more demoralizing than when you try to play slow it down, muddy up the game, and your opponent scores quickly. Like, let's say, hypothetically, let's say State gets the ball to open the game, they're running it, they put together a few first downs, they bleed 4, 5, 6 minutes off the clock, they move toward or into LSU territory around midfield, and they punt, pin LSU deep. And then LSU goes 4 plays, 86 yards, a minute 10 to do it. Well, all of a sudden you look up, you're down 7-0, and you're like, what do we do this slow, meticulous thing again? You know what I mean? So I'll be curious to see what Mississippi State does offensively. I think that is my biggest question in this game. Brian Wynn, good morning. Lance Richard, good morning. When is this week's Scone and Tea? And why does it take the show so long to hit Spotify? Sometimes it doesn't hit until 2 or 3 days later. So, Lance, we have not done Scone and Tea the last 2 weeks, unfortunately. So, we had done Scone and Tea, of course, Wednesdays for more than a year at Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist had to pause that schedule, so we no longer had a home. So the plan was for T-Bob and I to record on Wednesdays or on Mondays. What we really looked at was record Mondays, sort of as a weekend recap. And the last 2 Mondays, T's been unavailable after OTB. And so then we tried to plan for Wednesday, and then this week I couldn't be there for Wednesday. So anyway, we've had a little bit of a tough time coordinating my schedule with T-Bob's schedule to get it recorded. So we did not record an episode yet this week. Eric Chillmonger. Good morning. First time catching live. All right, Eric. Thanks for being there, man. That's awesome. Appreciate you for joining. Everybody say hello to Eric watching live. Eric Chillmonger. Guy Brooks, good morning. Happy Friday to you and your family. Looking forward to LSU and MSU. Happy Friday. Donovan Peterson rolling to Starkville after lunch. Okay. Brant Roban, good morning. Had to do a charity golf tournament. Tigers 38, Dogs 24. Very close to my projected score. I think I'm going to settle on 34-24. LSU. Jesse Brown, good morning. Does Foskey get a start Monday night? Absolutely not. Well, he's not going to start. I don't even think he'll be active. I mean, your starters are going to be Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson. So 100% Foskey's not starting. The real question is, do they activate him? They signed, or they promoted Kyle Phillips in the practice squad to the 53, and my guess is that Kyle Phillips is the guy that's actually going to be the one that's activated on game day. Spurge, good morning. Haven't heard Mason's name called much since his return. Anything coming from Kelly on Mason's progression? I guess you mean Mason Smith. Well, keep in mind, he did not play against Florida State, and so last week against Grambling was his only action, and the game got so out of hand early, he didn't even really play the second half. So I think they said the goal was to get him like 30 some odd snaps. So I would venture a guess this week would be a much bigger opportunity for Mason Smith, and with Omar Spates likely out, you need Mason Smith to go have a big day on Saturday. Zachary Hardy, I know you don't follow recruiting very much, but apparently Louisiana has very nice players coming out of the 2026 class. Still very early, though. Yeah, man. I mean, look, Louisiana always produces great talent, for sure. But that's great. Whenever you get those bumper crops, like the 2011 class years ago, with Jarvis and Odell and Anthony Johnson and all those guys, Lyell, like you had to go get all those guys, and they did. Cajun Country, Justin Jefferson has more receiving yards than any other receiver in Chicago Bears history. Not bad for a 2-star. It's interesting. Jets, I was watching the game last night. When it started to get out of hand late, I turned it off. But, oh, wow, 34-28. The Vikings made a little run at it. Anyway, Jefferson, I don't know if y'all watched, but right before half, Jefferson fumbled, but made a beautiful catch, and Smith was trying to get toward the goal line, and he fumbled, and they originally ruled it out like a yard short or inside the 1, But then I went and looked at a review, and he fumbled over the pylon and went out of bounds for a touchback. So the way the game ended, it's interesting. He's awesome, though. What did he finish with last night? Let's see. Jefferson last night finished with 11 for 159. No touchdowns. Should have one. It was close to having one. Phil Stevens, Chappelle is the GOAT. He is awesome. I'm excited to go tonight, so I'm just going to get off air, and I'm just going to drive straight down to New Orleans. I'm curious, though, if anybody knows, here's my question about Chappelle. So, 2 questions. Number 1, what time do we actually expect him to take the stage? Because I know it says, like, gates at 6, and the show starts at 7:30, but I think he's probably going to have an opening act. So, if I'm downtown Baton Rouge getting off air at 6, getting to Smoothie King Center for 7:30 is... I'm kind of close. But I think I'm going to have a buffer because I think he'll probably have an opening act. That's 1. 2, my tickets are e-tickets, but it says no phones are allowed. So if it's an e-ticket and I can't bring my phone in, how am I going to scan my ticket? Like, is there an option to print the tickets? Do I have to print a ticket? I guess so. Anyway, if anybody has any advice, please let me know. Jason H, any new kicks? Not since the purple suede dunks that I got last week. Hey, Rebecca Claire, good morning. Good to see you. Ryan Slayton, good morning. Watching in Largo, Maryland. It's a steamy 57 degrees. I'm not missing that Baton Rouge heat one bit. Thanks for making my Beltway commute enjoyable. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you for watching, man. All right, person 2. So that's Trivia Carter. Trivia, we've changed the name from FSU as my daddy to person 2. I need an explanation here. Need an explanation. All right, YouTube, please smash that like button. Facebook, please like the Matt Scone page, share the post. Bubba Abear, good morning. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Lowell Cormier, good morning. 1,100 SEC games are a sign of the apocalypse. I guess that's 11 a.m. Okay, got it. Nah, man. Let's go win. Troy Allen LaFleur is Matt Langlois hurt again, or have the freshmen just surpassed him on the depth chart? Langlois and Kylan Jackson from Zachary have both been injured. Chris Andropont, tired of hearing fans say put Nuss in, so I know BK is tired of seeing it. I'm sure the head coach is putting the better quarterback in. Why is this still a thing a year later? Because, Chris, there's the people who have made up their mind aren't going to change their mind, so you just have to ignore them. That's really where I am. I'm not going to be... I feel the way you do. I mean, the coach is going to play the best player. It's the same thing with the Denver Harris conversation. You watch your secondary struggle and you think that that Brian Kelly's just choosing not to play the best guy he's got. It's nonsensical. Like, of course he's playing the best players. Kelly Groves, good morning. Greg Duga, will Sunbelt Billy still be the Florida head coach after this season? After this season, I'll say yes, Craig. But after next season, I think is what gets really interesting, especially because I think Deion Sanders to Florida is a very real thing after Shadur and Travis or Hunter are gone. Lance said, hopefully Scone and T doesn't go the way of the Riot podcast. Coordinating schedules with people, stuff. It's why I say, man, it's hard. It's hard to be consistent putting out content, man. It's one of the reasons why this is episode 2050 and we've never missed a day. 2050 consecutive days, because it's just me. I make the decision. I'm just going to hit that go live button and keep doing it every single day. I don't have to wait on somebody else or depend on somebody else. Jared Esprit, I feel like maybe this week we feature Aaron Anderson in the offense. Maybe they're trying to get him the ball. I don't know, Jared, that he's ever going to be a guy that you look to get, 10, 12 touches in a game. But really what you want are the 4 or 5 really effective touches where one of them, he breaks a big one. Same thing with John Emery. Who is to say? If Penning continues to struggle, I'd move Hurst to left tackle, put Pete back at left guard. What do you think? So I actually suggested that last week during the game. But it seems pretty clear they're not giving up on Trevor Penning at left tackle. And I don't know that Pete is the option they'd go to. I will be more interested if he continues to struggle if they put Penning at left guard. Because he's a first-round draft. Listen, you drafted Andrews Pete to be a right tackle. Couldn't play tackle in the NFL. You moved him to guard. And he's been a starter in the NFL for a long time. So I think that's a really interesting scenario that could potentially unfold there. Okay, a few more here. As always, shout out to Brock, y'all, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, of course, Hudco Roofing. Oh, I don't know if y'all saw, but Fortified, the state has announced the Fortified Grants program where you can get like $10,000 grants for a fortified roof. So, believe it's at the Insurance Commissioner's website where you can go to read more about it. But if you have questions, give us a shout at Hudco. Hudco's pinned in the chat. Love to help you out. Okay, Jason H. said, when I saw him a few years ago, he didn't have an opener. Okay, I wonder if Chappelle's going to go on. But it says like 7:30 to 11:30. He's not going to, his set isn't going to be 4 hours. Usually I read it's like, 90 minutes set, maybe. Anyway, Dalton Barnett, good morning. Where are you and T-Bob doing postgame? Always at Don Juan. So Don Juan Town Center. As soon as the game goes final, we're live there from Don Juan. Leon Williams. Dalton said e-ticket. They'll scan it, throw your phone in a magnetic bag. More than likely, that's what they did at the comedy show in Austin. Okay, Kevin says use the phone to get in. Once your in phone off, if they even see the cell phone in your hand, you could be kicked out. When see Kevin Hart was like that. But they specifically say leave the phone in your car. Anyway. Bailey C. Saints haven't started 2-0 since 2013. Good number. Dalton Pichon, I don't know this for a fact. Just outside looking at it, it feels like Brian Kelly is learning to trust star athletes in certain situations, experience of recruiting differences. I don't understand who. You have to give me a specific example. Like I don't know what you're alluding to there. Let's see. Tiger Diver. Upon arrival, all phones and smartwatches will be secured in yonder pouches that will be unlocked at the end of the show. Guests maintain possession of their phone throughout the night. Okay, that's good to know. Oh man, 757, okay. Leon, Matt, if Georgia loses a game with a weak strength of schedule, do you think the SEC would be shut out of the playoffs? No. SEC champ will get in. Visible ID last year, Syracuse went 7-4 with Syracuse starting cornerback. Can I interest you in 7-4? Well, that would be 11, and they play 12 games. Spurs, gotcha, brother. Cajun Country, that stupid fumble out of the end zone rule needs to be changed. The ball should go back where the offense player fumbles. I disagree with that, man. Sean, if you fumble the ball out of the end zone, it's a touchback. Why should the offense get bailed out there? I mean, you fumbled the ball. I mean, it went through the end zone. It's a touchback. I actually am okay with that rule. Because you said, well, if the defense doesn't recover the ball in the end zone, what if the offense recovers the ball in the end zone? So you fumble forward and it's a touchdown? What's the saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, I believe. Taylor Hudson, Brian Williams, good morning. This Dutch Bros drive-thru is pure rubbish. I don't know what Dutch Bros is. What's Dutch Bros? Okay, almost done here. Kelly Gross, good morning. Sean Ferris, yonder bags. Okay, so the bag stays with you. Okay, I don't know what a yonder bag is. Okay, anyway. Eric Hart, good morning. Jake Flint spoke at men's club last night. Super cool, very smart dude. Yes, Jake Flint's great. Obviously, the strength and condition coordinator for LSU. David Tolson, which quick analysis of LSU's baseball schedule for the coming year. Yeah, I think, well, obviously you get Florida Vandy at home. You have to go to Tennessee, Arkansas, both tough places to play. You're playing the Minute Maid Classic. Well, I guess now they call it the Astros Foundation Classic in Minute Maid. I like that they're going to play a road game at Rice that week, so they'll play Wednesday at Rice, stay in Houston, then play Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Minute Maid. No road games in state this year, no midweek road games. So, yeah. Okay, any more? Oh, it's 8 o'clock, gotta go. Taylor Hudson, Dalton. Last year, Perkins not playing until midseason. He was a freshman. No, you see, Dalton, Perkins wasn't sitting last year because he was a freshman. Perkins was playing the same position as B.J. Ojulari. And so the real challenge was, what do you do defensively and Perkins was not an inside backer. So he was playing the same position as Ojulari. The question was, how do you get them both on the field? That was the challenge. Because you had Ali Gay on one side at the big end, which is how they kind of construct that defense, and then you had Ojulari at the jack. So that's where they had to get really creative with Perkins to get he and Ojulari on the field at the same time and not give up too much size or ability in the run game. Okay, I gotta go. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all have an awesome day. LSU Daily is live. Please subscribe up on your favorite podcast app. And AFR3. Peace.